Okay, well, everybody. Yeah, what you were saying?
I was just gonna say, were we just gonna get started then?
Well, welcome in, everybody, to the Proxy Podcast. Welcome back. And are we wanting to actually officially dump this as season 2?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's literally like there was 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So we could do it like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's, for season 2, I don't want to continue to introduce us, but just for season 2, episode 1, let's introduce the cast one last time. Let's start with Miss HKK.
Oh, hello. My name is HKK on most social media platforms. I play lots of gacha games. I play lots of Zenless, lots of Wuthering Waves, lots of Honkai Star Rail, Reverse 1999. Recently, some Expedition 33, which is really good.
Yeah.
And I also sing sometimes. I actually have a lot of fun music projects coming up, so hopefully we'll be able to make some fun stuff for lots of gacha games. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, my name is Azrael Vanity. I do Zenless lore. I dropped Absolute Cinema a while ago, 5-hour season 1 recap. So if you are just now getting into season 2 of Zenless and you want to skip right to it, don't do that. But if you do, watch that video. You'll be completely caught up. But yeah, season 2, awesome. Glad to be here.
And hello, folks. Your last host. It's your boy Josh. Out of the triangle here, I'm the more combat oriented guy, so I do a lot more combat meta oriented content around Zenless Zone Zero. Been trying to host a little bit more variety stuff around the Zenless Zone Zero community. And also, I know Age, you've been playing a bunch of different variety gachas. I am now officially staking my claim back into Genshin a little bit, returning back to Genshin with 5.7 and trying for Wuwa because I am very behind, but I'll try to catch up to you guys.
Didn't you just uninstall it?
Whoa! I mean, that was for storage reasons, of course. That was.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I had a few other things.
I just remember
you
being like, so. I just uninstalled it. I was like, I thought you just installed it, but I'm glad you've reinstalled it again.
It is. We're so back, guys. We're so back. Trust me, guys. Trust me. Yes, we're so back. But so much has happened with Zenless Zone Zero and also in the Zenless community, just in general. I think why don't we stick firstly to the actual game itself? How are we feeling about the launch of Zenless Zone Zero 2.0?
It's pretty mixed. So I think the events so far have been incredible. And I did actually really like the story of season 2. Mm. There were some issues. For those that have read the interview with the devs that happened recently, I'm not super psyched about the way that they are planning on going with season 2, like the route that they're going with season 2 in terms of storytelling, because they are apparently planning on doing a lot more storytelling through the 3D environment, which means what I originally thought was we were getting more comics and more cutscenes back with season 2 now that they've regained their footing. That is not going to be the route that they were taking. As you guys know, we had 45 black screen white texts, which is completely unprecedented. But with the statement of them saying that they want to tell more of the storytelling through the 3D environment, it sounds to me like they're not going to be bringing the comic quantity back up to what it was at the start of season 1. I do think the comics are definitely still going to exist. I'm not saying the comics are going to be gone, and we still have no confirmation. It is just from that dev interview, they are saying that they want to go a route of more immersive storytelling through the 3D environment. We'll see what they really mean by that. But odds are the comics are going to stay at the quantity that they were this patch and the previous couple patches, which is 2 or 3 sections of comics. However, I absolutely, how do we say we don't want that? This is a call out for everyone that wants more comics. please, for the love of everything that you find close to your heart, spam in the surveys that we want more comics. We don't want 3D.
Hashtag more comics.
Because here's the thing. I'm going to stick with the game no matter what, just because I love the characters and I love the story. If we get to the point where entire uniqueness of the game has been removed for the sake of getting a larger player base, which is what it seems like they have been doing for a while. I know a lot of the people did not like the TVs. I get that. They removed the TVs. I understand. That obviously threw their whole plan for a loop of what they were wanting to do with the game. But it seems like they are trying to go the route of getting a larger player base. I understand. It's your company. You got to do that. Every aspect that made it unique to make it the successful thing, don't be surprised when the people who were originally there don't want to play it anymore. There is a reason why I dropped HSR for Zenless. So if we lose the comics and we lost the TVs and it goes more of like a this is going an HSR route, I'm not necessarily going to enjoy playing the game nearly as much. Oh yeah, so there are some things that need to be fixed. I crashed out actually on stream while playing the story, but for a different reason. There was a large majority of the player base that did not enjoy all of the tutorials and stuff that was in the story. I went through a lot of like reading, and it seems like literally everyone that was annoyed was the people that had already been playing the game. So I can understand like why it was there. I was saying that the temple absolutely should have been introduced in the main story, but they should not have forced you to do a commission for the temple in the main story. Because when they brought it in, they introduced how the temple works, they went through everything, and then they made you accept a commission, play the commission, and then like turn the commission in, and then it was like, okay, now you can continue. If it was just like this is a menu, you're going to have to manage this later.
Yeah, that was one of the main issues that people had with some of the other Hoyoverse games too. And then so it was like a breath of fresh air with Zenless, where they would show us with the comics, they would show us with all the storytelling and panels, but then kind of seems like we're going a little bit back towards some of the old habits, I guess, from some of their other games.
Everybody, please welcome in our very, very special guest, Jstern 25. Welcome in, King. Tell the audience what you do.
I stream and do YouTube videos for Genshin and Zenless. I'm very hardcore theory crafting oriented, and we have a real focus on getting the most out of characters. So I stream at twitch.tv/Jstern25 and youtube.com @Jstern25. And that's me.
Just to catch us up to speed a little bit, we were talking about our more like immediate experiences with Zenless Zone Zero, just the launch in general, and Age was just about to chat a little bit more about the story and tutorial side of the the quest. So I mean, I kind of cut you off a little bit, but
I mean, I was just basically saying there were a lot of tutorials in the first half that forced players to do them. I know a lot of people were saying how, there weren't that many. Yes, there were a lot. Okay, this is firstly there were a lot. Sure, they might not have been as annoying to other players, but there were definitely a lot of forced tutorials. And then on top of that, there just wasn't like too much story in the first half either because of the tutorials. So playing the first half of the story is not very fun for a player who's returning to the game. Okay, I think my main issue with it was that as a player who has been playing Zenless for 1 year since launch, it felt like they were just trying. It felt like I was playing a patch that was not made for me. It felt like I was playing a patch that was made for new players and basically only new players. So I got really frustrated. But the story itself did end up being really good in the second half. I really enjoyed, the tie-ins to the Exaltists and things like that. And I do think the last hour and a half were very, very good. I think from the saving the town onwards, like I think that part was my was, very, very nice, very fun, and really cool, especially because, there were obviously lots of cutscenes that added to it, and also just they were progressing the story. We were learning a lot about the Exaltus and stuff. And one thing about that, though, is I do kind of wish that they didn't show as much in the version trailer, because I feel like them
Mm.
showing the Exaltus and the cult stuff in the version trailer kind of also spoiled the story, to be honest. I thought there was, maybe there's going to be a twist, right? Like, I think the 2.3 for Honkai Star Rail, they had the trailer, which seemed like it spoiled a lot of stuff, but then it was actually a red herring to kind of twist you. So I thought there was going to be maybe like a small kind of twist that was
Yeah.
why they were showing us stuff, so much stuff in the trailer, but it ended up just kind of being exactly what I expected. So that was also a little disappointing, but it was still enjoyable. I still like the characters, and yeah, the latter half was well done. First half definitely could have been cut down a lot, especially if some of the stuff was made more optional.
So a long and overarching story doesn't mean it needs to be paced slowly. My biggest issue with the 2.0 story is it's incredibly slow paced.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things they did when they got rid of all the televisions was they increased the speed of the storytelling. So it's beat to beat to beat to beat. The problem with the 2.0 story is it has that constant stop and start again, which is the problem with the TV and how the story was told. But more structurally, it mostly involves running back and forth between two spots and talking to NPCs. Specifically within the village, it is a major problem how often you are fetch questing or running back and forth. I feel that the story really could have benefited from an edit to kind of simplify the plot and cut some of the fat. Primarily, that's been my biggest problem with it. It's just too slow paced for what it wants to be, and it makes the experience a bit grating and kind of boring.
Fair.
Yeah,
I was about to say, like, you literally just mentioned the fetch questing NPC going back and forth, like, as you mentioned it earlier too, right?
Yeah, the walking back and forth between
Yeah.
NPCs, because I was afraid that if that's what they mean by like immersive, which I don't think it is, but when they say that they want to do more like immersive telling with the 3D environment, I hope it's not going back and forth between NPCs like it is in like HSR or
I kind of feel like it is.
It kind of feels like it, right?
It kind of feels like that is.
Well,
What I
we'll
thought they
see.
meant when they
we'll
said
see.
they wanted an overarching story was they wanted Yixuan to be their main character for the year, and all the story would revolve around her, kind of.
And
I mean, I still think it will. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole setup, and I mean, we kind of already prefaced that this is spoilers, so we do want to get into like the big story, not spoiler. My brain stopped functioning. Plot twist. There we go. The plot twists.
Yeah, the
At
twist
the
at the end is
very,
cool.
very end.
Jiang.
Yeah.
I thought that was really the shining point, because sure, like, it is a plot twist, but like it just allows you to springboard the story so much, to a greater perspective, right? Because not only from like a story point to where like you can be like, okay, now we know, like for a lot of people, and hey, shouts to Molly, but one of Molly's gripes was Yixuan didn't really land home for them, and for many of you, chat, I'll be honest, I think a lot of us really love Jufufu and how spunky and how
You're so
lively
cute.
and how she performs that role so well. But Yixuan, it seemed like it was a lot more like surface level. We still kind of saw that kind of calm, on that nonchalant, vibe, you know what I'm saying? But now we're like, oh, now we're bringing in Yi Chong, and now we get to actually see like the turmoil and the internal emotional psychological conflict. Like we can see the path now. So I think
Hot take, which is the reason a lot of the Yixuan stuff doesn't land, is because we've already seen it.
Yeah.
We know family
Again,
member,
spoiled.
cursed sword, cut in with the animated promo, sad backstory. I will eradicate all evil. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
It was 6 months ago.
Oh.
It's part of it. It feels a little forced.
I think that's why Jufufu like had such a much more resonance with the community than Yixuan did, was because like while Yixuan is unbelievably important, it does feel like her character was just a little forced, which they didn't it doesn't seem like they were trying to make you care for Jufufu, which made you care for Jufufu. But yeah, I mean, I think that at least that's how it was for me.
Yeah, and it was another thing of kind of like you said, the trailers, right? So on top of the fact that the character arc is very similar to Miyabi, you also have the trailers, like 3 whole trailers that were released right before the patch that basically kind of explain her entire backstory. Yeah, the patch did give you a little bit of extra insight into details of what happened, but because it was so slow and so long and so focused on her specifically and kind of just reiterated a lot of things you kind of already knew, it made it extra kind of drony, I guess, to play through. Again, I really like the twists at the end, and I do think there were moments that had good payoff. Like for me, I got really emotional when we learned, again, spoilers, when we learned that her sister actually in her final moments didn't have her memory, right? Like when we first see that CG, and then it's Yixuan being really sad about when she first explaining to, I guess, Belle her actual backstory near the latter half, and she mentions that, oh, her sister didn't actually have her memory in her final moments. Like for me, like just losing the memory kind of stuff, that stuff really, really hits home and makes me really emotional. So that, yeah, it definitely had impactful moments still. But again, it's like the impactful moments in the story, I feel were just really dragged down by how long it took to get there. And and because of like all of those things, it also felt like the payoff wasn't strong enough for the experience of trying to get to the payoff.
I was really concerned Yixuan would be a block of wood when we first met her. She's really not. She has this really great personality where she's constantly lying and gaslighting everyone around her. She's like an ultimate scam artist. I kind of love it.
Yeah, that's really
She's not even a real Void Hunter. She's the Void Hunter level investigator. It's part of the scam. She's fooling you all.
At least we did learn
really
that
clever.
she was like offered the title.
She says that.
And she said she rejected it, or
Well,
she's
yeah,
not
yeah,
accepting it
she
for some
rejected it.
reason.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
then actually, she never told us why she didn't accept it. Actually,
I mean, it's
Now that
gonna
I
be
think about it.
it's gonna be like the story thing. She's gonna accept it
Yeah.
at the end of the story and go, "I am the Void Hunter."
There you go.
It's exactly what they're
Eradicate all
gonna do.
evil.
Yeah, well,
I
they did
will
that in this
also. Yeah.
I'm sure, but Yixuan actually has a really great personality, and I was surprised that I did enjoy her.
Yeah.
I was concerned that I wouldn't, and I'd feel she was too forced.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did end up really liking her character too. Even though, because originally the reason I'm skipping is because I just didn't really care about her. I didn't care too much about her design or her as a person. I thought she was gonna be just kind of basic, bare bones, generic, strong character, but she ended up having a lot of depth to her, and her story was touching and it was really good. It was just kind of bogged down by some of the various things we just mentioned for me personally, at the least.
Have you
But
guys talked about the reason for the micro stutters yet?
Micro stuff.
for like in battle,
we have
the
not.
dialogue or the
Oh,
the,
so recently, some members of my community have put together a theory with enough supporting evidence for me to
Ooh.
talk about it. The temple minigame is the reason the game runs worse because it requires constant communication with the server to update the inventory.
Oh.
It's not
That would make
hardware
sense.
based, it's netcode based delays.
Okay, I did not have
That's
any
what
issues
we
at all
think is
playing the
going
game.
on.
Really?
So
Really? I was dropping
had-
FPS like
I
crazy.
had zero. I did not stutter a single time.
You'll get like little micro stutters where you'll get small spikes where the frame rate will dip and then it'll be fine, and then you'll get a little small dip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
I felt like I was miserable whenever I was fighting.
Because I
just
watched
kinda,
your gameplay. Yeah, it was
like,
crazy. Same with Josh.
Oh my God.
It was actually insane. But
Part of it-
I legitimately did not feel like I had any frame drops at all.
After every update, the game needs to cache its shaders, so you
Mhm.
get bad performance for the first couple minutes after you update. This has been a thing through all of Zenless.
Mm.
But besides that, we do think it is the netcode, which is the reason people are getting small stutters.
That could make sense.
We'll see,
Yeah.
but that's our theory.
Because it would also affect, different people's internet, right? If your internet's a lot
Yeah.
stronger, then you won't get the
Yeah,
lag.
maybe.
They made a Reddit post about it.
Yeah. PC
Interesting.
skill
You guys
issue.
talk.
Saturate.
So the two main, I guess, things, story-related bugs that I noticed were they still have the dialogue in the battles that is super slow and has really long delays in between each voice line. Like, I understand that, at the end of the day, if they want us to do all of the voice line in the battles, we will have to wait for them, unless they want to just force us to do constant battles nonstop. Like, I don't mind waiting too much. What bothers me so much is that there's like the 2 to 5 second delay between each voice line, and I still don't know why they have not patched that after like 4 to 5 patches, or maybe not 4 to 5, but it's been like 3 to 4 patches where that's been an issue, and it's still kind of a thing. So that was a little bit frustrating still. And then also there were a lot of discrepancies between the EN voiced dialogue and the in-game written dialogue. Not the biggest issue, but it was something I did notice quite a few times. So
In the Gravity Cinema event, they misgender one of what is her
Wait, there's
name?
one
They misgender a dog. They mispronounced a dog in one sentence.
Oh.
It's funny.
Oh, actually, there was one more. Now that you mentioned pronouns, it wasn't pronouns specifically, but at the end of that cutscene where, we kind of, we get hit by the miasma and then
Yeah.
each one has her flashback. If you play as Belle, she says wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently,
Oh, no.
apparently that happened to like everyone who played Belle, and she says wise
Yikes.
instead. I mean, that's just like a small bug issue.
I didn't
but...
notice
Wise
that.
main
I played
character,
Bell and I
guys.
did not.
Yeah, I didn't
Wise
notice either. The
main
chat was like,
character.
"Wait, guys,
I thought you
we're
knew
wise
this
now?"
already. Haven't you seen the promotional videos?
Apparently, I have not seen a lot of people complaining about it in other languages. So I don't know if it's an Ian specific thing or if it's like all languages that it happens with. But I've never been a fan of like dialogue in battle. In HI3, I was not a fan. In Star Rail, I was not a fan. In Genshin, I'm pretty sure it happens in Genshin too. I was not a fan because like it's not crazy important, to be fair. Like it's not like anything they say is going to make me not be able to make a connection. But as someone who, even when I'm playing offline, like if I'm playing Persona games, even if I finish reading what they're saying, I let the voice line play out. That's why my playtimes are so long on everything. I like listening to all the voices. And so when it's a moment where I think the conversation is over and then they start speaking another line, but I complete the task that they're asking me to do, and then it just cuts it off. It happened to me like 5+ times, and I literally had to get up and like walk out of my room because I was just getting so upset because I just wanted to hear all the voice lines.
Oh, I didn't
But,
even know that this was
yeah.
a problem. I was like, okay, I gotta do something, get it done.
Right, no, I do feel like a lot of people had a lot of frustrations with the
Yeah.
story this time around. So, Josh, what are your opinions? We've been speaking.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing, and I feel like my opinion is not necessarily disingenuous, but definitely slightly skewed, because I had the foresight of having you two, in particular Agent Az,
True.
and your guys' experiences. So I knew when to turn my brain on, I knew when to turn my brain off, I knew when to pay attention. Like I knew like, oh, oh, they have these problems, okay, like I'll just look over them, right? So when it came to me coming out of the experience, because instead of doing 1/2 to half, I did all the way through from start to finish. I did that quest in just under 5 hours, like 4.5 to 4, like 45-ish minutes, which is pretty quick for a streamer. And the streamer, I said streamer.
Yeah. Because verbatim, I think it's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
With no commentary.
So I didn't actually notice the tutorials, to be fair. I noticed the temple a little bit when I realized that it was making me... Oh, I realized it when I saw a chatter say, get back to the main story. And I was like, I am doing the main story. What are you talking about? I was like, this is a part of the main story. And that's what I was like, oh, okay, maybe this does seem like it's like a side thing. But I did see like some people saying that walking around and like saying hello to the shopkeepers was annoying, like when you first got there. I cannot... I'm gonna be for real. I cannot agree with that, because if you go and look at my like VOD, before the moment we get there, You have to talk to Jufufu, and then she gives you the tour.
Yep.
But they let you walk around without blocking you. So my dumbass went around with the biggest smile on my face, trying to go and look at every single nook and cranny of the entire area. And then I was like, oh, wait, is she going to give us a tour? And then I had to do it again. And I was like, okay, whoops, my bad. But yeah, it was just funny because I realized, oh, she's going to give me a tour. And then she
you
did.
Were the people who found Astra in 1.0? Were you one of the people who found Astra in 1.0?
I pointed her out.
On in-game assets since 1.0.
Yeah, and she was in the internet post too. There's internet posts talking about her concerts coming up too.
Back to, my experience was definitely a lot more positive because I was able to kind of weave my way around the negative parts. For me, I had the foresight, and I completely understand a lot of like the gripes that people had, especially, those who are going through early and had to go through all the road bumps before me. But overall, my experience, I think, to the point where I was focusing again more on that story, less so about like the overarching experience when it comes to tutorial and, just the black and white text, which I did notice, but like I didn't think was going to be that highlighted of a thing. But again, I understand, like, HSR fans are pretty butthurt that people are pointing out, we're just trying to.
Okay, I didn't point it out during HSR, but I did notice it in this one just because there was literally 45. Like there was so many, and it's just a drastic jump.
Less than a star rail.
Yeah. It is.
True.
It is. But I have not played Star Rail in like a very long time. So
going
And you haven't played Orpheus yet.
You have not played Orpheus.
No, I know. I'm excited for Orpheus though, even though I know it has its own like issues. But going from like not having that many black screen white text before in the game to how many there were here, I did notice it. I wasn't super upset. The only ones that I was super upset that it was a black screen white text that I actively was like, why is this black screen white text? Was the Yixuan thing, like unlocking our ether meridians, and then the Dr. Lore actually turning himself into an ethereal. Those I think absolutely should have been like art pieces, as opposed to just the black screen white text. And that's when I like really noticed it. But everything else, it kind of just like went by.
I wanted to springboard our next conversation with something that Age mentioned before. You skipping Yixuan.
Oh, yeah. I kind of told you my opinion on her. For me, when I pull characters, I pull more so based on my attachment to them as a character rather than for meta reasons, things like that. From the start, to me, Yixuan's design has been like, it's light. It's not really my taste, so I'm not too into it. And then, my initial reaction to her personality introduction in 1.7 was also kind of like, I don't really know anything about her. She seems chill, but that's kind of it. She seems chill and powerful. Those are the two things. So I kind of found her a bit boring, to be honest. But I liked her character arc. I liked her learning more about her personality and, throughout the 2.0 story and her trailers. So I like her a lot more as a character. However, I am much more looking forward to Yusouha, who is dripped for next patch. So I'm just trying to save as much as I can because I had to go for it. I'm obsessed with their design from the start. So I'm just saving because I did go for M6 Hugo. So, I have to step back a bit here and there, save up some, I was going to polychromes. And and there's also Orpheus in the future too, Seed. There was, Minato too was who I was also looking forward to. I'm like actually kind of okay about Minato at the moment. Kind of need to also
really
get
you didn't go crazy.
I did go crazy seeing him at first, but then after the story, I want to spend more time with him and get to know him a bit more because
knowing his personality would be nice. But I was just surprised at his absolute size.
I know.
Is a unit.
No, his size is crazy, but I like it when characters are mean to me. So he's too he's at the moment a bit too much of a nice boy. So we'll see. We'll see.
How dare you skip Yixuan? Can you believe it? She is the Void Hunter level investigator. How dare?
Speak your truth.
No, it's perfectly understandable to skip Yixuan. I don't think you're missing out on that much, especially since you've said you pull M6 agents. You're fine.
Well, I only have Lighter and Hugo because I'm a simp.
Respect. Ooh.
You've been covering a lot of
You're gonna
about
introduce
Yixuan
Orpheus?
already, even prior
Trying.
Jstern, but like kind
Oh,
of
me?
just yeah. Like kind of give us now your summary now that we've kind of realized the potential here in the first part of 2.0, because I've got, you know, we can talk about Jufufu and other
Whoa.
characters. I almost spilled my water bottle there. But yeah.
Pulling an ass.
She has a lot of cool things you can do that ultimately don't make you do that much more damage. They're pretty low impact, but they are cool. Regarding like realizing her potential, there's not that much to say. She is as good as expected. I don't think I was surprised, at least. She's very good. She's also not. She's not all that, but she's going to be getting a big helping hand from the content design, so it doesn't really matter.
I heard she's hard to play.
She's really not. You can just mash EX and you'll be fine.
No, because that's what I did during the story. I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm playing with like the new characters. I do not know how to play a single one. I'm just keyboard smashing.
There's a really cool
hold basic
cancel. There's a really cool cancel you can do with their ultimate attack, specifically the talisman version of it, where you can trigger it and a chain attack at the same time.
Oh.
Oh.
And while she is doing her ultimate, your teammates can be using chain attacks.
That's
That's
cool.
the most difficult thing you can do with Yixuan, and it's very cool.
Nice.
It's not exactly that much better, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Or it's really
Which one is
cool
the
if you know how to
talisman
do
one?
it.
Is that the
one that does, like,
the
snake
technical
one?
the technical
Oh, okay. The
yeah.
one. Okay. I got you.
One that goes like zoom, 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 zoom.
There it is. There it
Great
is.
description.
Yep.
I'm going to be
That's the
talking a
one.
bit about that cancel in my Jufufu video, which is being edited right now.
Ooh.
There you go.
So that'll be there, because I don't know if I want to necessarily make a whole dedicated video for it. But there are other cool things you can do with Yixuan.
And you kind of alluded to it in a different conversation that we had, that it's not necessarily she's as like combo breaky, like heavy type of character, but in a different, you know, direction, because of the many attacks that she has. That variety begets, you know, the creativity aspect of it.
People try to overcomplicate Yixuan. I think it's to convince people that they're missing things. She ultimately can be boiled down to press triple EX, block attacks, defensive assist, and then make sure you use both ults in stun. That is a really simple TLDR for Yixuan. It doesn't
In
have
style
to be more
is the-
complicated than that.
Yeah,
Everyone
in style
really
is the key.
wants to overcomplicate it, but sometimes you don't have to.
I use the Noah's Ark analogy. You want 2 chains, 2 ults, and 2 balls.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we're not doing 2 chains anymore, but yeah, like 2 balls and 2 ults. 1 chain and a team chain now.
There you go. Yeah.
Ooh, so different.
Mm.
But yeah.
I just push buttons.
I understood that.
I just figured out the other day by the people that I met at the Beard Papa's collab that Lighter has a special attack if you like attack, dodge, and then attack or something.
Oh, it's especially X.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that existed.
I can quickly say one more thing about
Yeah,
Yixuan
please.
performance.
Yeah.
I was talking a little bit about it earlier, where she's going to be getting big helping hands because she is the main character, more or less. We see that with the Miasma shield, where Yixuan does more damage while the shield is up than other characters. We also see this in the next Deadly Assault reset, introduces the Miasma Priest boss. It has a buff that gives Yixuan 40 ether damage bonus, 40 ultimate damage bonus, and 30% HP and 15% adrenaline regeneration rate.
That's a lot.
As well as the stage buff. But that is the rotating buff for Yixuan, and this is basically going to be a permanent fixture for the next couple updates. You can expect to see this
For the buff. Is that like one of the just
Yeah.
like the selectable buffs or?
Yeah, it's one of the selectable buffs. So it's 80
I don't know
damage
what that
bonus.
means, but the numbers sound very large.
That's a lot. Yeah,
same.
yeah, all you need to know it's a lot of numbers.
Wow.
80% more damage.
40%, 30%. Holy.
The current buff is 20% res ignore on EX and ultimate attacks,
Mm-hmm.
and 50 ultimate and EX damage bonus, as well as 20% decibel generation. Jufufu gives Yixuan 600 decibels per ult, which is 20% decibel regeneration. So effectively, right now, you're getting an idea of what our performance with Jufufu is, or at least what our gameplay with Jufufu is.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have a more difficult time with some of the existing teams if you do not have Jufufu.
Yeah.
Starting in the next reset, if you're trying to play Yixuan the exact same way.
Interesting.
Nah, but Jufufu is
interesting.
just so, and
Crazy.
I kind of spoke to it in my stream kind of just a little bit earlier. Like Jufufu has so many different mechanics, and what I love about her is the aftershocks on the chain.
Yeah, she's got the might mechanic and the momentum mechanic.
The might's okay. Momentum's kind of
Some of
munko.
it it's confusing because
Yeah.
it's not hidden, but it's not obvious. The TLDR is just make sure you defensive assist with Jufufu, and you'll be chain attacking more often.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the thing people are not gonna get, but I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to start watching actual guides. Get a little get a little
Start
knowledge
learning how
on
to play characters.
The
How to play
kits are getting a
characters,
little
yeah.
bit more involved. We'll I mean,
which
we-
is good.
yeah.
They use a lot
oh, yeah,
of words
speaking
for
of,
kits that play themselves.
yeah. Speaking of kits, though, they did say that thank God, they want to start adding more faction attacks, like faction chain attacks.
Yeah.
I see that. They want to do
The
faction
animation.
specific chain attacks, which I think is really cool and a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what those look like, because I was expecting those to from the bit, like playing all the betas, I expected there to be more than just like Ben and Coleda's team up attack, and that didn't happen. So I'm glad that they're finally getting around to it and actually adding some in. So yeah, it's gonna be super fun actually. Like
The way the Ben
How the
Kaleda
factions
attack
together.
works means that you basically wouldn't want it in the game. You cannot swap to Ben while this attack is ongoing.
Oh.
He is effectively removed from your party. So either you'd have to prevent that lock from happening and just have it duplicate the character, or you do it this way, which is they're going to make it chain attack, which is a great way to just get around that.
I mean, wait, in HI3, the what is it? The three Hershers, the three Hersher versions of Kiana, May, and who they have like a big ol', like if you have all three of them in the team, right?
it's just an ult.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love
special cutscene. It's
Yeah.
very good
Mm.
though. It's very, very sick.
Yeah,
It's also the first of their kind that they did something like that, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
Although I don't own all three, so I never got to see it.
Wait, if you own all three of them, or if you play them all together as a team?
They have to be as like in a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
no
long as it's not
global
a global
passive,
passive.
no global passive.
No, it's not a global passive. It's not a global passive.
Not
To
the
be in
global
the team.
passive, guys. Yeah, no, I think, because there are some things that are a little bit more like leaks oriented, which we won't go into. And if you guys would love to talk more about leaks, we definitely invite you to go to Jstern's community, because they go through so much more meta oriented content, as well as like look ahead content to get you guys prepared for a lot of those new characters.
Do a
And
lot
I
of
mean, technically Jufufu is demoed already, so like
Jufufu is in the game. She
Yeah.
is playable.
Yeah.
yeah, so we
You can read all that stuff.
exactly.
I guess first, before we go into like the actual events, Lost Void. Did you everyone played Lost Void?
We
Just
have
finished it.
caught up.
Okay.
Right before this
I
The
forgot what they were adding, where you can do like the call-ins, like where everyone can have their gear and you can call them in and have them like do whatever, which I think was super sick. But obviously I'm going to talk about the story. Orpheus,
Wait,
it
there's
seems
story?
super. Yeah. The story for Lost Void.
the
Orpheus?
introduction, yeah.
Yeah.
Orpheus,
So,
yeah.
they introduced Orpheus, and she's a big old cutie pie. I'm really excited to see the actual like interactions between Magus and Orphe, because it seems like that there was that one interaction where they can kind of talk to themselves without anyone knowing. Yeah, like mind talk.
Yeah.
Telepathy.
So telepathy, that's what I'm looking for. And so yeah, their character interactions just seem like it's gonna be super, super fun. And I'm interested to see if they can like actually fully swap their like who's controlling Orpheus's body or not. I don't really know how that will work, but it'll be interesting nevertheless.
Mhm.
I thought the story itself of what was happening in the Lost Void was cool. However, they did introduce yet another.
Ethereal, the
Ethereal?
largest ethereal version. I
The
forgot. I
ethereal.
don't know the
Yeah.
name.
Big boss Ethereal.
No, well, yes. Oh my God, help me! I know there's an S in there. No,
There's
not
probably
the,
an E
not the
too,
big
I
hollow.
think.
Symbiotic. Thank you.
There we go.
Holy moly! They introduced another symbiotic ethereal this time, and while that is cool, I love seeing all the new like symbiotic ethereals. Awesome. I wish we would slow down a little bit. I'm not opposed to us just getting like symbiotic ethereal after symbiotic ethereal, but I wasn't satisfied yet. Like I want more
Ninja
of
and Geppetto?
Geppetto. I want more of
Okay.
Geppetto specifically because Geppetto was built up like as a whole thing in the side event. Like we'll get to Nineveh eventually. Like obviously we're gonna actually like slay Nineveh, but Geppetto was being built up through the entire Arpeggio Fault. And then they did the little like shadow tease in the first part of Lost Void. And then when they showed him, he did nothing. He did nothing. We beat him like it was nothing, and then he just got recalled back. And then now we're like kind of shifting focus to a new symbiotic ethereal. Not like fully, but I don't want to like introduce too many symbiotic ethereals where like we can't really just like focus on one. But it is super sick seeing that they're not afraid to actually come up with new symbiotic ethereals. Just because
I'm gonna
they're like
give
the
you
big
some
bads.
pushback on this. Part of
Okay.
Lost Void is it's a repetitive game mode. You need variety. Having new final bosses every season for Hollow Zero is entirely a good thing. This is gonna very much be a repeat of the last Hollow Zero expansions where we fight the new weekly for the first couple months, and then they introduce the expansion where you fight the symbiotic ethereal. And I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, from a meta perspective, it makes sense. Like from a gameplay perspective, it would get repetitive fighting the same thing. That's just from a lore standpoint. I want more of the previous ones instead of just only doing like surface
Do
level.
they
and
add
then jumping
flavor
through a new one.
text every time? I know there are collectible items in Hollow Zero.
Flavor text in terms of like depth
lore
of what
text.
the symbiotic. No, they do not, unfortunately. Yeah, the only thing we know about Geppetto is that Geppetto and Nineveh. Well, actually, it seems like the ones that are symbiotic are man-made, and that Geppetto can specifically, do the thread thing and manipulate consciousness and create its own ethereals and kind of have a higher state of mind.
I want to step back a little bit because I want to introduce you guys to something.
Yeah.
Have you seen the farming route, and do you have opinions on it?
The farming route?
For
I
what?
sent you some stuff for this if you want to pull up the mobs in the aerospace area respawn every 30 minutes. And they drop investigator logs, engine XP, and a little bit of Denny. There seems to be either a weekly or bi-weekly cap on how many you can kill and get drops from. Roughly the entire map clear until they stop respawning is about 2 hours, and it's about 600 energy worth of materials. I don't know if people are you aware of it at all.
Nope.
I'm aware of it, but I wasn't using the farming route.
No, I did not.
Direct one.
I'm not a fan of
assumed.
like. Yeah, I mean, I guess I thought that it would drop stuff, but I'm not a fan of like the actually going through. Like I do what I need to. I get all the chests and then I call it a day. That's what I did with
Yeah.
HSR too.
Exactly.
I never went around and actually like killed anything in there. I'm not a big fan of doing the like bigger open stages. But that is crazy. That does seem like a lot of
It's technically a lot of content.
Yeah.
in a lot of rewards.
Also, I'll be right back.
I think
Of
the
course.
specific thing is how many rewards you actually get for doing it.
Hmm.
It's shockingly high to the point where I'm doing a little bit of it. I'm not doing the religious full farm every week, but the rewards are shockingly high. If I never have to spend energy on investigator logs again, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
I think it is nice that they're giving people who are maybe like into the combat and farming something to do, because it is obviously a big commitment to like go through and farm all of that. So like I know some people might argue, oh, but then it's like FOMO, things like that. But I think it's fine to reward players who are willing to spend that much time going through and to, get those materials. And then as long as it's not like you're forced to do that to get the materials, which is not the case. So yeah, I didn't realize that there was such a complex farming guide though. I kind of
We'll
assumed
get
that there might be
around.
some
Yeah.
drops, but
I think I might cover it. I'll be honest. It's kind of up my alley.
Yeah, there
Something
you
I'm
go.
going to cover. So
Try it.
can chat get a link. Can
Make
I
sure
can I
you
send it
shout
to
out
chat?
the writers,
Yep.
Fluffy Burrito, and visuals by Looney K.
yeah. Because I was already like going around farming, but like I mean, I'm sure there's optimized routes and what they're doing. So yeah.
Give it a
Because
go.
God forbid, like I ran out of batteries already. I'm cooked. Like I don't got shit. So I need to do all that.
Yeah,
but-
the interesting thing is just how many investigator logs you got. That's, I think, the interesting thing about it. It's neat. In Genshin, you can technically daily farm for artifact XP. You can get a plus 20 piece every day, I think, something like that.
Ooh.
Artifact XP if you
Yeah.
farm.
Oh,
All
So
right.
it's neat that they did something for players like that. It's also a great way to burn out and not enjoy the game anymore.
yeah.
Occasional,
So,
I'll
yeah,
do
as long
it.
as it's not like necessary,
Yeah.
then it's fine.
Yeah.
I think people are complaining about Yixuan being the only viable character in the new Lost Void. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I have not. I also cleared
Okay.
it already without even realizing.
Did you
that.
do all the
What-
15-15 stuff?
all the intensity levels?
Intensity 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have not yet.
I don't think I did the 15 one, but I played a few of them. Yeah.
The
Okay.
timing is. Whew.
It's like a joke if you play Yixuan,
Yeah.
which is, I guess, the thing to complain about. She intentionally trivializes the new Lost Void.
hmm But I mean.
Orpheus was really cute.
Orpheus is very cute.
That's what I was looking at in the last one.
I agree.
Respect.
Yeah. So you said you're gonna M6?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm slowly saving. Sure, we'll see.
I hope Orpheus is the magic buffer for all the other Obol agents.
Her design.
I want her to be an aftershock support. That's what I want. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Because, okay, she's Orphe and Magus. She's Topaz and Numby.
Mhm.
If you
No, I
play
actually,
House of Zero.
I felt like the comparison was actually a bit closer to Hua Hua and Tail, because Orpheus's personality is it's very
Yeah.
different from I think what most
could
people
also say
expected. Everyone
Rick and
expected
Morty.
her to be the super like cool, like cold and cool aura farming one, but she's actually really cute and adorable. And then Magus seems to be the kind of a bit more blunt and I don't know what the word is, but not aggressive, but
Dominant.
serious one of the two. So then
Yeah.
and I also found it interesting because I thought like she was called Orpheus, but it's Orphe and Magus, which is Orpheus. So then I'm assuming later when we get to like see her more, they're probably either Magnus is gonna take over, or I think it's more gonna be like they kind of combine into aura farm mode. Is what I'm assuming. When they lock in, they're gonna lock in.
There's speculation about whether or not Magus can take over Seed, which could be really cool
Oh.
to see.
Interesting.
Yeah, that could be like the team chain attack.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
So
seems like
I-
Orpheus is part cyborg. Sorry.
No, you go.
It's
ahead.
just like
Orpheus.
she looks like she's part cyborg. The tail is like attached to her, I think, to her spine,
Mhm.
and her
I
neck
think
is also
she's a
completely metal.
Chimera Thyran, I think, is what
Chimera
she is,
Thyran?
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
she
it
has
looks
She has a
robotic
snake
horns.
tail
Mhm.
and she has goat horns.
But
Yeah.
it looks like
and
it was
the
all metal.
fashion is Greek themed.
It is mostly metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Huh.
I thought it was like maybe she's part
I think the
human,
theming
part
is
whatever.
she's a chimera.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see when they tell us more
We'll see.
about her.
I
Yeah,
keep
hopefully
waiting to
soon.
see a fan animation that just takes the dubs from Rick and Morty and replaces them with Orphe and Magus.
Mm.
I see it. Do we have a Hoyo Fest for ZZZ?
They just had like a
Kind of.
like an
I
hour
think
and a
that was
half thing
official, the
happened
most
recently.
recent one.
yeah.
The bang. It was like called like Bang Boo. Bang.
All the things in there
something?
were sponsored by Hoyo. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
they do Hoyo fairs for Zenless.
I think they just called it not Hoyo Fair.
About Wit Studio anime. Yes, there was a Wit Studio animated like
Yeah!
opening, which was very
That
very
was
good.
insane.
It was insanely good. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna plan on watching that whole like anniversary thing on stream soon. It'll be the
Amazing.
first stream I
fun.
do once I finish moving.
But yeah, that's my opinion of the Hollow Zero stuff. It's cool. I like that it's a little different. I think they changed it up in all the right ways.
Mhm.
I wish the tag assist mechanic worked if you didn't have, or worked if you had Astra in the party.
Oh.
Because most teams will have Astra, most players won't be interacting with the new mechanic.
Hmm. Wait, why? What?
Astra covers them up. You can't really use them with Astra.
Oh, because her own quick assist like
'Cause of
goes
your
on top
quick
of it.
assisting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They
I
have
got you,
don't
that
don't
makes
they
sense.
have one of the cards that actually like allows
Change
Xiao
Astra?
to like it doesn't
Yeah, she'll do
obviously
an
helps
attack
it, but
every
like with the
aftershock.
tremolo, I think. Like that's
that's right. They do.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I did not know
That
that.
doesn't help the exact issue that you were talking about, but no, to your point exactly.
I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to fix it. They could just have it at a different button as opposed to the space bar.
Yeah.
I
Again,
mean, they're doing
the
a whole
feedback
thing with key binding,
forums.
so. Yeah, feedback
Feedback
forms.
forms.
There you go.
Just
Put it in
hash-
there.
More hashtags, guys. What do we call this one? I'll be honest. I didn't have when I went through it, I was like, I was just talking about how cute Orpheus is, and I didn't really have too much to go like when I did it because I was mainly
Yeah.
more focused on just like trying to get through it all so I can get to the higher intensities. But the matter of fact is that like
Okay.
you know
did
I
do the
think
max
in my opinion about Hoba.
Hoba's
Yeah,
so
it's like,
cute
I think it's Hoba.
in
Hoba?
concept.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like the
Meatball.
symbiotic ethereals and stuff, like there's
they do,
levels
they
to
do.
it, right? So of course Nineveh is the queen bee one, like that's up at the way top, and then we have
Smash.
you know.
Sorry.
I like how you could tell that
Demon
was
took
like
over.
actually like that was instinctual. That wasn't
That was-
even.
it- yeah.
I'm sorry.
The intrusive
The
thoughts.
voices took over.
Yeah. But then you know, like, to your point, as I wish they fleshed out Geppetto as like a higher ethereal, but like understanding like, oh, okay, so we're seeing like they're just gonna plop them in, and then you know, Hoba seeming like I don't know if it's like a Taurus or something. Like I imagine like if anybody knows season 2 of Shield Hero, the big Taurus with like the huge like crystal things on the back, and I'll be honest, I hated that season. But anyways. Basically,
What,
like
another world?
we are.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No way. The story is going to jump off a cliff and be really boring. Can't
Is that
believe
what
it.
happened in season 2?
That's what
Basically,
happens after they
yeah.
defeat the turtle. The turtle is a portal to another universe.
Yeah.
What?
Isekai?
It makes no sense.
It
Don't
doesn't.
question
It don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Isekai.
Yeah. yeah.
I watched the first season, but I didn't get to watch I never watched.
Honestly,
two or
season
anything
1
like
was
that.
solid. You don't need to watch too much more, or just read the manga. I'll be honest.
Well, besides Lost Void, how'd you guys like the gameplay of Eos's mech?
I didn't do it yet, but hey.
Oh, you didn't do
I
it?
love the music.
Fuck.
Ooh.
I heard it's really
the
good.
Music is very,
The
Nice.
very
music is
good.
peak.
It was they went in more depth than I thought they were going to. Like with the mech. They had like actual skill trees, which I didn't expect them to do. Not like the skill trees were anything crazy, but you know, it's still cool that they did that. And I still 100% like trust that it's a test for Seed. They wanted to try out how a massive unit like that would work in combat, and I'm gonna need Seed to play like that. I'll say that.
Seed better be so big. It's gonna be so cool if we can get just a massive ass robot.
He should be, because in the other interview that happened recently, they actively said that there is no like size limits off.
Yeah.
So hopefully that they were in reference to Seed.
She could be pretty cool.
Here's to them.
The Bangbu in the mecha. What are the chances that Seed is a Bangbu inside the mech suit?
High.
It's a playable Bangbu.
It's high. I mean, it's like
Actually, this
I
event was
mean,
the first introduction to Seed.
It
Seed
would
is
be
the
funny.
Bangbu from the event.
Yeah. It would be funny. I mean, there is actually there's dialogue in S and B, or sorry, in triggers. Oh wait, no, it was S. Wait, oh my god, what was
It's
it?
Trigger.
Yeah, it was
where
S and
she
B.
goes Soldier 11. She's not
Trigger,
Seed
yeah.
is not exactly an artificial life form.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact
Oh,
that
okay.
she's on the phone and she's talking to assumably Seed, and then the
Oh,
dialogue
yeah.
cuts to Ina. Like it cuts to like Bangbu talk
Does
on the
it?
phone.
Oh,
It does, yeah.
Oh.
Which I thought was Seed until that happened, and then I was
Oh.
confused. But it would be kind of funny if it is just as long as that when you play Seed, that you play the mech,
Yeah.
like just actually the mech. Then it's like
That'd be a way to
I
make
mean,
a
I
big
don't really-
character that you can walk around Overworld as.
It'll be so interesting to see the map from a different angle.
yeah.
that'd
It'll
actually
be
be
so much
so
taller.
fun. That'd actually be so fun. But I mean, a lot of people are worried. Not to say that, you know, we're doom posting it, but like, you know, a lot of people have been talking about, oh, what if it's a Firefly situation? Which
It's a Bangbu. She's a Bangbu, right? That's definitely it, right?
it's not a cute kawaii girl, of course. No.
Would people still be upset? I have no idea.
I don't
Firefly
know.
and Bangbu form.
But Seed's pronouns are officially her in every language as of
Oh, really?
1.7. Yeah.
They
As of
did go through and
1.7,
update
they
it, yeah.
changed it all.
I did not know that.
Also, tell me how you like Billy's voice acting in that event, because they did. I will say it was definitely an error. But
Oh.
there's no robotic
I
filter
heard
on Billy's voice during that event. It's
Oh.
just like
Oh.
his voice.
Oh, I
and-
heard about that.
Yeah, and I will say Billy's voice acting during this act was so peak. Like it was actually really, really good. And I was asking Chad, I was like, I can't tell if it's because I can like hear the nuance in his voice because the effect isn't there,
Mhm.
or like what it is, but it's very good. Just let me know what
Oh.
you
Oh, I'm
think
so
about Billy,
curious
no
now.
robotic voice. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it before
Wow.
they fix it.
But what about
even
the
realize
cinema event? You also did that one.
The cinema event is
I do have stuff to say. It's cute. I really respect the developers for putting in at least one male character. Honestly,
Wait, who is it? Who is it? Wait, I need to know.
Oh,
Who
Haramasa.
is the female
you
character?
get to go on a movie date with Haramasa.
Haramasa.
yeah, Harma.
Then he has
That's
unique
so
dialogue if you
lighter.
pay Bell.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna add more because they also I'm assuming they're gonna try and make it into like an actual like
Permanent.
what's it
Concurrent
called?
event.
Trust
Or
event
not concurrent. Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that you
yeah,
can
yeah.
do.
Honestly, I believe in equal opportunity gooning.
Masa's one of the girlies, honestly.
Yeah, the only one that because I understand the whole event was kind of supposed to be like oh my gosh, you're going on a date.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about any of that except when it came to Venus because I love Venus. That was actually
Venus was
just
nice.
absolute cinema. I love that. But overall, absolute 10 out of 10 event because all of the actual lines when you're watching the movie are voiced by the person that you're going with, and I love the UI. The UI is super sick during it, and it actually fleshed out the NPCs. A lot of the people you get to bring are NPCs, and a lot of like people that
Coco
I
is
wanted
a
to see more of.
freak.
Coco's so
This
funny.
Coco has issues.
Coco does have issues.
thought I liked Coco, but she needs help. She needs professional help.
Yeah, Coco does have some issues, but she's amazing. I didn't know we were gonna get Coco because I play through everything blind, and it was really funny because literally at the beginning I was like, because this is a great event to flesh out NPCs, I hope we get to see Coco. Because we
I
learned
need
nothing about
Sweetie
Coco.
and Susie in the next
we
version.
need Sweetie.
We do need
Oh,
Susie.
God.
Sweetie.
Yes.
So fine.
I
Oh
do
my
need
gosh.
some more voice Susie screen time.
Sweetie
Orchidea's
kept me
wife
sane.
material. Oh yeah. Sweetie's model is great. I think it is really funny seeing everyone fiend over Sweetie's model.
Have you seen
Very
fan art of
good.
Yixuan in Sweetie's outfit?
I have not.
No.
No.
I've
So
seen
nice.
fan art of
Yo,
Yixuan.
please,
I've seen
friend.
fan art of Vivian in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good outfit.
Josh.
I'm gonna need some sauce. I'm gonna need some sauce.
I
after
have
this
not seen that.
I have it all in the bookmarks, guys. Don't worry. I'll just dish it
Oh
out.
my god.
I'm gonna just dish it out. Don't worry, guys.
How do you feel about the thigh rub?
Oh yeah, it's got a sound effect. Good for them.
I joke
I
around.
like that they put the lines on the back of the stocking so you can see her legs
Yeah,
move more
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
They-
Oh, you 200%.
it's a cute skin. It's nice.
Yeah,
Yo.
I do hope that they add more skins though. I think they probably put on the back burner while they were trying to work on everything else.
Mhm.
How
'Cause, I mean,
far with skins do you think they'll go? Will
Like, in
they do
terms of-
swimsuit skins?
Do
Like-
swimsuit skins? Or
Yeah,
do you
like
mean like effects? I mean, I'm sure they'll do.
No, swimsuit
actual-
skins.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Are we beating the
Uh,
Gunnar game allegations with this one?
Well, no, we're not beating the Gunnar game allegations, but
we're never
um,
beating those.
I
I'll-
mean, with the skins that we've already got, I would
Yeah.
not be surprised.
Yeah.
I do think if they ever decide to do swimsuit skins, it won't be stuff just like, oh, they're wearing a bikini, you know? They'll definitely, it might be maybe like a summer themed skin that has a little bit of skin, I'm assuming, but I don't think they'll go like full all
don't
the
think they'll
way
do a
to
bikini?
just bikini
Yeah,
stuff.
not HI3.
Because I know
bikini
Hoyoverse
skins.
itself has like a bad history with swimsuits /
Honey girl
spicy
suits is
stuff.
what they have a problem
So
with.
Mm,
Well,
they
I
have a
think
lot.
they're
there
probably-
were some skins that they had to remove from
yeah.
HI3, I
Yes.
think, from the original ones,
Yep.
specifically for Kiana, because it was like literally just the tiniest bikini in the world.
Mhm.
I mean, we just gotta wait to see how the revenue numbers from Wuthering Waves does, because they got two bomb
Yeah,
you know,
Those
summer
are really
swimsuit
nice.
skins.
they're so pretty.
Oh, did they? Oh, I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen them.
So
Holy-
expensive.
Well, goodbye to my wallet tomorrow, I guess. I don't know how much they cost, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I think they'll probably. I do think that they'll take it further. I think that would be nice if they're some of their future skins. They don't even have to make like fully original designs. You know, they already have so many original designs in all of the different splash arts for the stories. You know,
Mm.
agent stories, main story quests. They have so many variations of the
I
character designs.
need a
already
reskin
made?
for Soldier Zero Anby to just be normal Anby. I need this.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
you could just mod it. There's a mod for it.
Oh, careful!
That's a big no-no. Especially on stream. No.
I mean, you don't put it on stream.
Mhm. Yeah, but no, it would be so cool if they could make skins of some of the splash arts,
Yeah.
because those designs go so hard. Oh my god, they're so pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't even need it to be Gunnar. I just want to see their cool ass designs, you know?
I kind of, and this is kind of like an extra thing that I wanted to toss out just because I know Age is a little bit more, you know, of the variety gacha player. Jstern, you also play Genshin. Do you guys have any opinions on some of the newer content outside of Zenless Zone Zero, aka UA 2.4, Genshin 5.7?
Honestly, I'm really excited for all of the games because
Skirk's cool.
I haven't played 2.4 yet. Looks great. Yeah, there's Skirk and Genshin, plus Nodcry, which I think will be pretty interesting if they execute it well. Finon, Fate collab coming up next patch. lots of stuff.
Yes. the Fate
Exciting stuff
collab.
to look forward to.
Oh, I'm really excited for the Fate collab. I want Archer.
Mm.
I would actually pull for Archer if he wasn't free.
I mean,
Oh, is
wait,
it?
hold
I
up.
forgot- I forgot
Are
it is
there
for
are
real.
there
Where the hell's me?
like idolins for the characters?
He has Eidolons.
okay.
Yes, but doesn't matter.
Yeah. For me, I'm coming back to Genshin. I guess
Skirk?
like Skirk's obviously a very polarizing character. I would say so. I think.
Oh, I saw what you tweeted about the meta.
What do people have? What's controversial about Skirk? Is it
Oh.
that people are upset Dainsleif isn't coming?
Not this. I wouldn't say necessarily controversial. Excuse me. When I meant like polarizing, more just like drawing you in, kind of like and I think how Genshin is using this new like 5.7 update is in a way like how ZZero utilized 1.4 with the story, and to kind of like not necessarily pivot, but like, you know, in some way like collectively like bring it all together. Where Genshin's not bringing like Natlan together, but it's using it kind of like as a change in tempo.
Isn't it? It's Mondstadt.
5.6. I'll be honest. I assume you did the 5.6 story. How did you feel about like?
I didn't. I know what happens in it.
Oh, okay. So you okay. But like, for me, a lot of those like lore drops and all that stuff, we're trying to expedite that transition period, which I kind of get. I think 5.7. Hopefully, they take the time to actually like flush out. Of course, I believe we have a Skirk story
I
quest.
think you are going to be disappointed. I'm pretty sure the 5.7 story is set primarily in Mondstadt,
Okay.
and it's continuing stuff from 5.6.
To be fair, I don't expect from Dainsley. All right, I don't expect anything from that man anymore. I see him for 2 seconds. All right, chill, man. See ya. He does like a fire attack or like one
I
sword
expect
slash.
him to be
See ya.
completely silent when he shows up. That's what I expect. I think it's a reasonable thing to
Yeesh.
expect.
Yeesh.
He will be completely silent. Don't worry.
Yeah,
They got your back, buddy.
I have lost faith in Dainsleif. And it's not to say I don't like Dainsleif. It's just that right now they're not utilizing him.
I think it's every year you get your Laura Dainsleif quest. They know what they're doing. It's the slow drip of information. Because if he tells you the entire plot, that's the entire plot,
Right.
and they won't tell you.
Right.
But they can only drag it on for so long, you know,
That's
Yeah.
the
before you
thing.
need something more substantial, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about exactly what's happening in Genshin, but
Nah,
just
they
based
can
off
drag
what
it
you
out
guys are
forever.
saying, I think
We have
So
at least. Yeah, go ahead.
Nodcry is essentially like this gap year where they're taking time to do things that haven't been or that were left by the wayside. So it's an extension of Genshin Story. This was not intended content as far as we're aware. It's easy to call it filler, but it's not necessarily filler.
Mhm.
There are also, they may release these maps, but there are also a bunch of missing areas in existing maps. We're missing half of Fontaine and specifically Mount Essus, which is the highest point in Tevat. We're missing the Blackcliff Forge in Liyue. And
Blackcliff Forge, yep.
Dormant Port in Mondstadt has been teased since Sumeru. And the theory is that these maps will find their way out during this year. We'll see.
do you think they're trying to kind of like redo that land, maybe, or at least
I
the
don't know.
vibes of it, of
I
what
guess
people
you could
wanted
say that
initially?
it wasn't a success. I don't know.
I mean, what's
think
your
there's, like, a lot of
opinion
people
on
who
it? What's your
liked it,
opinion
but-
on it?
I didn't like that one at all. I liked the exploration a lot, though.
Mhm.
I think they did a great job with all the maps in that one.
Mhm.
I just don't care for the characters. And I do not care for the way Hoyo games tell their stories. I cannot stand people who will hypocritically say, this Hoyo game story is good, the other ones are bad. No, they're all presented awfully. They're so boring. I'm sorry. They're all the same. Amphorius is not any better than Natlan, and Amphorius is not any different from all of Star Rail.
No, like I think at its root, the Hoyo games, at least the ones I've played,
Yeah.
like Genshin, Star Rail, Zenless, they all have really good concepts. And honestly, like the story itself, for the most part, I do really like. But for sure, the way that they tell the story can get really boring sometimes and very draggy. Because I liked the Euphoria story a lot, but obviously, you know, a lot of the patches were very draggy. They tend to add a lot of bloat to all of their story, both, you know, Genshin and Star Rail from my experience. Feels a little bit like maybe Zenless might be heading that direction too. I hope that's not the case and that they are still just kind of figuring out stuff, but you know, it's like they do have to start stepping up a bit as well, because we can only kind of let them figure out stuff for so long. You know, like I think a lot of people were waiting for 2.0 and they wanted 2.0 to be an amazing, like they're going to fix all of the issues that we had and they're going to like relaunch the game. It's going to be so fantastic. But then, you know, again, the story was fine. It's an introduction story to the next section, so it's not going to be anything too crazy. But, you know, that on top of a lot of the issues and stuff, I think for sure that the main story in 2.0 definitely did not live up to the hype. I don't necessarily think it's terrible and, you know, horrible, but when, you know, you have a lot of hype, the disappointment will definitely be a lot stronger if you can't even reach like a decent level close to it. So I hope Zenless doesn't walk down that path. I know I really want them to bring the comics back. So feedback forms. If you guys also want the comics back.
I do want more comics back, but in terms of like the actual like hype for 2.0, I wasn't expecting there to be anything like super crazy hype of like action packed stuff in 2.0 because Zenless is known for like taking its time. Really, it was really up until 1.4 when when it was literally the climax of the story, and then everyone came back and was like, this is so epic. This is what it needs to be every time. It's like, okay, well, the story does need to, you know, actually have some build up. The reason why 1.4 was legitimately so like fun for those who actually played through all like the rest of it was because there was build up. Obviously, yeah, you're going to get more dopamine either way. I mean, there was more action in 1.4 even if you didn't play the rest, but I don't want them to try to make every single update like unbelievably action packed. I do want them to still, you know, build up like they did in season 1. So, but yeah, more comics. I do think Zenless overall definitely had a much better presentation for the story than any of the Hoyo games. Just because they had more options. They had the normal, you know, dialogue models are on screen, dialogue on bottom. They had the cutscenes, they had the comics. And then also not just the comics, but they do also have just the screens of like the art, like the little art panels they have in some cases, which is like a one-off.
I like the visual novel storytelling device that they use, where characters can be a bit more expressive.
Yeah,
I think that's
rather than having like the character model standing, you have them do their different expressions and stuff too when you do have the dialogue.
Yeah. And I also like the way that they do the background. Because like if they are in different locations, then they actually have the background having like different like wherever their location is. And if they are next to each other, then they do try their best to like have the backgrounds kind of match up to show that they are like next to each other.
But they're also slightly off, so it's not like just one.
They are
PNG,
slightly off,
right? Because they're standing in different locations. So. There's small details like that are really nice.
Yeah. So even if you don't just spam comics in the surveys, definitely spam less black screens. For sure, because they can. I know they can.
But as some closing remarks, do we have anything that we needed to wrap up on in terms of?
Yixuan is peak. Jufufu is peak. When are they gonna reveal the secret teaser character from the end of the trailer?
True.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw theories that.
Oh, what are the theories?
Yixuan, I forgot his name, but the horse guy from Yunkui's Summit.
Yixuan.
His hair, his color, his style, his hairstyle and stuff is very similar to the color and style of that character's hair. So people are wondering if maybe later we'll have him as a connector to that character. Maybe I don't know.
They also the Yi part apparently is like the last name. They like share the same last name, so they might be like siblings.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be interesting.
And I wonder why they kept their face hidden.
Yeah,
I want to know about the teaser character.
That has to be a story thing.
It's a huge story. It's got to be a huge story thing.
I have no idea.
Okay. I think that's good though. Keeping some mysteries, not showing too much. Unlike some other parts of the that they already revealed.
Yeah, I mean, I do hope that they pull back a little bit on their trailers, I would say, because again, sorry, one last thing. It's just like, going back to the story thing super fast was, yes, there was a twist at the end, but honestly, up until that specific one twist, everything else to me was just really predictable because it played out exactly what I expected from the trailer. So
yeah,
I think that's one of the things Hoyo does sometimes struggle with. Like, they do sometimes show a bit too much with a lot of their trailers and promotional media. So I don't know,
You
maybe
are
the best
technically
solution
free
is
to not engage with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, do I have to just not watch it? But then it's like their promotional media. So I don't know. It's just
we got to react to the trailers, guys.
It's a little tough.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely was
oh
an
my God, it's
Arlecchino
terrible.
moment for those Genshin players.
We're getting power crept in 6 months. What?
Factuals. Yep, that's what it is. No, I meant
Gotta
like the
watch Party
Arlecchino
Live.
like trailer. Remember when the story of her and the redhead girl, like that whole animation.
Yeah, they posted it and then it spoiled her entire quest.
So that whole
kind of
quest.
thing.
It was still a good quest though. They just the big plot device was told before. Anyways, but
Gonna have to do watch parties with our eyes closed.
This sounds really peak.
It
Oh my
sounds so
God.
good, guys.
I am so excited.
But yeah, that's just like a small thing that I do hope that they.
It's hard for me to. I know most of the story stuff before it happens. Just I hear about it.
yeah,
It's hard for me to have that much of an opinion on the official media spoiling it. I do think it's really funny how close to the chest they tried to keep the Miasma Priest when they are in the 2.0 teaser, and they put out IGN footage. And as soon as you log in, the first thing you really have to do when you pull Yixuan is to fight the Miasma Priest.
Yeah.
Were they
I think that's a little
trying to
funny.
hide it?
Yeah, they didn't let anyone show it. Yes.
Yeah. If you looked at
you mean in-
for example, like C server content.
Okay,
Mm.
I see what you're
We're
saying.
not allowed to show anything with the Miasma Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, I also kind of felt that in the story too. They made the priest seem like it's such a big reveal, but it's like I've already seen it so many times in all of the promotional stuff. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to harp on that point, but
Yeah. Amongst the criticism that we have, I think, just to kind of wrap everything up in a nice and little neat bow, we still have a lot of like great points that we can kind of, again, I use the word springboard a lot, but like we can jump off of to enhance the story, enhance our overall just experience of said story and the quests and just gameplay. That again, to the point where 2.0 felt a lot slower than we wanted it to, but I think, and I can come back to this in 6 to 8 months or whatever, but to see if I was right or wrong. But once we get to the end of our 2.x mainline experience, hopefully we'll have like, now like recognize like, oh, this was a much smaller portion to the greater overarching story and experience that they want to tell and have for us. So
and the new area is amazing.
It's cool. I like what they did. I do think that the setting could be a little more interesting. I feel
Fair.
like it's been done before. I know that they spoke about the inspiration for the new area being Guangdong, which is why there are so many Kanto restaurants. So the setting is inspired from different regions than the Lufo and Liyue.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
My final remark will be because Chad's talking about it. Damien, I did actually I liked the Damien arc. My expectation was that he was just immediately going to be like the asshole because he's a tops guy, but they went out of the way to kind of divert my expectations. That's what I'm looking for, with Damien being kind of like he's still like a tops guy, deep
Still a
down.
little shrewd,
but
but
I love the fact that they made him like actually kind of a nice guy. And then yeah, there's the whole is Damien the HIA guy from the trailer. And at first I keep saying no, and I'm still gonna keep saying no. Well, we still don't actually know. But literally the only difference is the earring. Like the model is the exact same. And I saw a comment that was so fucking funny.
He doesn't have the
that
earring?
it was he doesn't have the earring. And so the comment that I saw that I'm going with now is they're like, I'm getting so pissed off that people don't think that Damien's the HIA guy, because it's like Perry the Platypus. They're like, Damien, and they put the earring on. Damien, the HIA guy. It's like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
He's got a twin brother.
Yeah. So I think the fact that they had Damien also in I think it was Alice's drip marketing or Yuza's, it was one of them. But I think it's it'll be cool to see if Damien gets like a slap on the wrist from Tops, and he gets like a little upset and then leaves and joins the HIA and starts doing like his own shit. I think that'd be really funny. But yeah, I really like the way that they're setting up Damien if Damien is actually the HIA guy.
Will HIA guy be playable?
I would like to say so. I mean, everyone is so hyped. Everyone is like, he's so hot. He's so hot.
My god,
They focused on him like 3 times in the trailer, and then had a direct close up on his face. They did have a direct close up of him like before the companion, but yes. So yeah, and also everyone was calling him John Zinless.
he is John's on this.
No, yeah, his character arc is really good. I completely forgot to talk about that. No, because I think what they did with Damien as well was a nice way of basically, this is the first time we've seen someone from Tops who is not necessarily just an evil person, right? They're not just a terrible individual taking advantage. You're sure maybe who knows what he's done, in his pursuit of getting that bag. But for the most part, it's nice to see some nuance in terms of the bigger organizations that are the bigger powers at play, right? Within Tops, we have people with the Exaltus, but we also have people who seem to just be more disconnected with it, trying to seemingly just, do their job and make some money. And then same thing with all the other organizations too. Anyways, it's just nice to see that we are starting to get a kind of a level where we're starting to be able to gauge kind of what's going on within all of these great powers that have so much influence in New Eridu. So yeah, the subversion of Damien's character, I also thought he was just going to be a generic, he's the Tops guy. He's just going to fuck us over. He's fucking over the workers. But yeah, his arc was really, really nice as well. He was one of my favorite characters in the new story, actually.
I do
completely forgot about him because I was so focused on Yixuan, but it's 2.0.
Did you see the promotional art for Jufufu's music video?
I'm
very excited.
Yeah, I did.
Today?
No, they did it yesterday.
Last
but
night.
It was on Hoyo.
Last night? No, I was editing.
No, you can just close it.
There it is.
It's so hilarious.
What is
This
this?
official artwork for Jufufu's music video. I can't wait
so
to see
good.
what this video is.
It's
I
my
can't
favorite.
wait.
That's why I'm also excited, because her agent quest is going to be based around like her doing the movie that she wants to do. So
okay.
her agent quest is going to be incredibly fun to go through too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, because she also mentioned
Basically,
multiple times in the main story. That was the movie that inspired her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she even named the popcorn thing after the main character from the story.
Yeah.
She is Kenshiro, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but 2.0, with all of its flaws, is still a very solid update in my opinion, especially with all of the side content. And I'm sure, hopefully Jufufu's story will be really good. I think all of the recent agent stories have been fantastic. They have honestly not missed in the agent stories since, I would say, some of the earlier ones. But yeah, I am really excited. The story build up. We've gotten the tutorials out of the way now, okay? They're done.
It's over.
From now on, we should just be, going in, and hopefully it'll be a very, very good time. And yeah, obviously feedback forums are always there for us to give feedback. So we'll definitely be using those, and hopefully that will help us improve the game that we all love and enjoy.
All right, let's wrap it up. Firstly, to introduce us, let us go to our very, very special guest, Jstern. Thank you so much for coming on. And and actually, you know,
Thanks for having me. I am
thank you.
sorry I was
Appreciate it, bro.
late.
Oh, you're good.
No, I'm sorry I was late. That's completely my bad.
I hope the nap was good.
Honestly,
Everyone needs nap.
we wanted you to take the nap because you work so much.
You needed the energy.
Coming from me, Jufufu video maybe this weekend
Yes.
on my YouTube.
There you go.
You can check me out on Twitch at Jstern25. And yeah, I'm gonna continue doing what we've been doing. Lots of the hardcore Zenless content. If you want to learn how I play Yixuan, you can drop by and ask. 2.0 was cool. I look forward to seeing what they come up with for the remaining versions. Thank you for having me again.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yes, yeah, my name is Astro Vanity. I do Zenless lore. That's pretty much it right now. However, the art is almost done, I think, for my schedule. And then once that happens, when I'm moving, so I won't be streaming. This will be the last stream for a little bit. And then the first stream that I'm gonna do when I get back is going to be watching the like all the fan works for the Zenless anniversary thing. And then I was telling you at the beginning of the beginning of the stream, I think the next stream after that, I'm gonna do the new FNAF game. I think I'm gonna stream the new Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Nice.
Because I really, really want to.
Age?
Yeah, I mean, I'm finally not dying as much from videos and stuff, and yeah, I'm just really excited for a lot of the upcoming, patches and stuff. Like I said, to play the new story. Been trying to do some story reviews lately. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss, but I am trying to just evolve my content so that I can also expand and have discussions, stuff like that, with chat about things we love and don't love about games. So I am having a good time. Also playing Expedition 33, very, very good game. As excited for you to finish that.
Alrighty.
You can find me on AGEKK on social media. Yeah, that's about it. That's me.
Let's go.
Nice meeting you all.
And to wrap us all up, it's your boy Josh. We're on the Twitches, we're on the YouTubes. Finally wrapped up my guide prep series for a little bit more of the intro beginner players / returner players. And looking forward to, I have a community tournament that I'm hosting. This is more of like a smaller one in order to kind of use this as an experiment for a bigger tournament. For those who know Pokemon or Pokemon modded games, there's a mod called Run and Bun, where it takes some of the lesser popular / worse performing Pokemon and slaps them into a super hard mod. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the worst performing ZZero characters and have people compete in Shield defense and deadly assault runs. So
I see.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's actually sick.
that'll wrap it up for the Proxy Podcast, episode 1 of season 2. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to rate us on 5 stars, not on 5 stars. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. All right. If you don't, we'll find you.
Yeah.
We'll hunt you down.
Yeah.
We'll track your miasma.